DC's Peacemaker is back with season two. And y'all, we got a lot to talk about in this episode. So,
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
welcome back to Collard Greens and Nerdy Things, your favorite podcast in the world. I am your host, King, with the greatest co host in the world, JC3. And we are back for another episode. Today, we are talking about Peacemaker. Season two has made its way back to us, and we're going to review episode one. So, the biggest thing that we probably got to talk about, y'all, is this big red con that opens the show. Jay, kick us off. Tell us about the Red Con and what were your thoughts?
Man, I tell you, James Gunn hit the ground running fast. You know what I mean? Like this man knows what he's doing. We're getting ties in this universe. With the previously on DCU, the way that the episode started. Man, from what we've seen in this retcon, if you guys have seen the season one finale of Peacemaker, after Chris, aka Peacemaker, after he saves Agent Amelia, from her fate, and that him and the team are walking on that farm, they see a few Justice League members from the DCEU, ones that we currently don't have anymore. We were all wondering how James Gunn was going to explain this, and this man just went for it. He just did literally whatever he wanted, and we got an explanation in the form of characters being taken out of that scene in season one. I believe in season one we saw the Flash and Aquaman, but instead of those two, now we see Hawk Girl and Guy Gardner's Green Lantern from the recent Superman movie that just came out, and they have their witty banter, and like just seeing that, how he changed that just so suddenly and just so quickly, just let me know this man's open to doing whatever he wants. This is his world. This is his universe. He's going to do what he wants to do. I personally did not mind the switch, just because I feel like, just starting out in this universe, we do need to start like connecting things right away, just to establish that we are in this new universe here. So I actually like that whole scene, man. What you think?
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I thought like one, James Gunn, like you said, he's getting the ball rolling. Like there was no half steps or half measures about what we were going to do of bookending the DCEU and then coming into the DCU. I loved it. I honestly think that the Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl, their banter and their kind of character actually fit the scene a little bit more than Jason Momoa and the Flash. I enjoyed it. I mean, it definitely says that the Zack Snyder universe is gone, you know, and this is the end of it. And now we have instead of just putting that off in a different universe, now we have a full retcon, which for those who don't know what that term is, that means retroactive continuity, meaning they're going to get something that was a mainline constant and we're going to change it. And from this moment on, we're going to act like that other thing never happened. And I mean, I thought it matched up well, and I thought it was cool because, like you said, we just seen these characters in Superman. So now, as you mentioned, we're getting the initial ties. The story is now tying together in the immediate. The same people we saw, same attitude, same cheekiness. Um, we get to see in these characters. So I love that. I thought it was a good way to open up the show, especially kind of like the previously on bit of it all, and it had the internet talking. It's one way to get people to really jump right into the show because there's controversy at the first 10 minutes, you know. So I loved it. Let's kind of go on to talk about what you thought of the plot and the overall, you know, handling of the story, where Chris is picking up and where we're at. What'd you think of the overall story that they're telling so far?
I'll tell you, man. So far, I'm really enjoying the story that's being told. I love it just because we're not necessarily starting off this season just with, like, with a bunch of action. You know what I mean? And just stuff blowing up and things going everywhere. We're doing what I believe is really needed, especially since we're starting in this new universe. We need to get to know. We need to see what these characters have been up to ever since season one. We need to see the aftermath of what happened after they saved the world and see how they're doing. And quite frankly, they're not really doing too good. Peacemaker is currently trying to find his way in life. He's trying to deal with the trauma of accidentally killing his brother, also killing his father, and trying to join the Justice Gang. He's trying to be a hero, trying to be a good guy. What he's always tried to do. We have Leota, his friend. I love their dynamic together. She's currently trying to start a agency, I believe. We'll see how that works out. Not quite sure yet. We'll see. Also, Agent Amelia, she's currently looking for employment. No place will hire her or take her just because of the involvement that she had with Amanda Waller. We're seeing this team and we're thinking they should be thriving ever since saving the world, but they're not. They're just dealing with a lot of trauma, and I feel like that's a great way for us to really feel something for these characters. Like, and I gotta say too, shout out to John Cena just because this man is doing a great job in this role already. I just love the fact that he can literally go from calling a creature a creep keeper bitch to crying in his hands just because he's dealing with so much trauma and experiencing a life that he never really knew that he could have. So just having that variety, just having that depth, like really shout out to John Cena on that. But story so far I think is great. We also see Frank Grillo from the Superman movie, reprising his role as Rick Flag Sr. We've also seen him voice the character in the Creature Commando show, and we know that he's on the warpath to find Peacemaker because he killed his son in the Suicide Squad movie. So that's an interesting story development. I can't wait to see where that goes. And there's also another bit of story that we're telling here that has to do with other universes, including pocket universes. Another Superman reference. This James Gunn's just firing on all cylinders, just giving us everything we need right off the bat. And I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the plot. I think we're at a great start. What about you?
So before I forget, let me jump off of something you had said right there about the pocket dimension. I thought that was really cool, and I thought it was really cool that in the show they're making mention of what happened in Metropolis with Lex Luthor and his pocket dimension. I thought the pocket dimension was genius. Loved it in the first season, but to really lean on it this season is fantastic. Something that I noticed that a lot of media right now is doing from different franchises is they're really diving deep into the multiverse. Definitely after Marvel opened that door, a lot of stories are having to do with parallel universes, pocket dimensions, and other things. And DC's definitely not one that it's avoided the subject, right? His dad creating that pocket universe and leaving that open for him left Chris to kind of wonder what was out there. And it kind of put him in surprising places in the story. So one thing I'd have to say is the story is really telling a story of people who are kind of at a low point. It's really talking about uh PTSD and drama and things from their past. Of course, like you said, Chris is dealing with the fact that he would unfortunately killed his brother at a young age and he had to live his whole life dealing with that, and then having his father being a racist supervillain flying around being a fucking asshole, and dealing with those kind of things have really put Chris in a desolate place in his heart. And in this show, you can kind of tell that he just doesn't know what to do with himself. Of course, he goes to the Justice Gang. He tries to apply with them, but during that whole thing, which is kind of a funny gag, they're talking through to him through a two-way mirror, and they didn't know that the mic has been live the whole time, and they're just talking shit. which really sets him off because he's already in a low place. So I love Daniel Brooks, the actress, who plays his best friend. And I love her character and their kind of dynamic. You could tell she's trying to start a business, but her girl left her. She's still dealing with the fact that Amanda Waller is her mom. You know what I mean? And all of these things Amanda Waller was doing that she didn't really like have a full grasp on. What's her name? Like you said, was drinking herself into a stupor. You know what I mean? She's just out looking for a fight. She doesn't know what to do with herself. Like you said, every agency in damn near the world won't accept her because of her work uh with Amanda Waller and these secret agent things. They're all kind of in a depressive kind of state that they look like they're trying to get away from something. They're searching for something, but they don't know where to go. And what really opens that up is when, Peacemaker goes into the pocket dimension and then finds a universe where he's alive, but not only that, a universe where he did not kill his brother. And as far as we can tell so far, his father's not a racist asshole. And I thought that was a crazy moment. And one of the things, I'm going to bounce this back to you because I want to know your opinion. One of the things that I thought about it is going forward in the story, I think they might have Peacemaker having a hard time of dealing with his current reality and then knowing that there is a reality where everything seemingly went right. His brother's alive, they have a good relationship, his father's got a good relationship, and I think they're going to put him in a place where he's balancing the is the grass greener on the other side and wanting to go live that parallel life. Because by the end of the story, Peacemaker 2 from the other universe is no longer with us. So I kind of wanted to, ask you, what do you think about where they're going to go with this story that we see so far? And how do you think Chris Peacemaker is going to handle dealing with this second universe where everything seemingly went right?
I think for that storyline, I feel like what will end up happening is things will kind of seem too good to be true in that universe. Just because from I believe from what we see, they're a like seeing like Peacemaker, his dad, his brother in that universe, like they're like a unit, like they're a team. So I imagine they're beloved all through the city they're protecting. Another twist on the show, honestly. I feel like either things will be too good to be true, and he'll find out that maybe his dad or his brother is up to something that isn't too heroic that he won't agree with, or him traveling throughout pocket dimensions could possibly cause something else to come through, other than a random alien dropping off an egg or whatever that alien was dropping off when Cena was in there the first time. Uh, yeah, I feel like this could probably go the wrong way. It's gonna be good to see how he reacts to that new universe. I mean, obviously, I feel like we know he's gonna assume the role of the dead Peacemaker, of the dead Chris, and he's gonna enjoy that life. But then probably down the line, see that things aren't as good as they seem. And I would like to go with maybe the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, and maybe that's what he'll realize. Maybe the best thing that he can do is just try to make the best of his situations in this current world that he lives in and still try to be a hero. I think that that's where it will go. But honestly, man, who knows where things could go lately, because there was something else that happened in this episode that I didn't quite see coming.
I was about to get to that. I was about to ask you what is your favorite or wildest moments, which will segue us into what I know you're about to say. Because y'all, this was a wild fucking moment in this show. So, Jay, tell us what is one of your favorite and wild moments in this show?
We're gonna sound terrible for this, but hey, it is what it is. We have our opinions. My favorite and most wild part of this whole episode, guys, there was an orgy in this episode. Uh, Peacemaker gets very down after not getting let into the Justice Gang. After pretty much being embarrassed in his interview, and nothing's going wrong with him and Amelia. She's not giving him the time of day because she's too busy off getting drunk and starting bar fights. So he decides to have his own little bender and starts smoking weed, doing drugs, and all of a sudden the bright light flashes, and then we see him just sitting on the couch, and all around him are naked people, men, women, fully naked, fully fucking. As you can see, I'm speechless now, like I was speechless when I saw the moment, just because it felt like we like just transported to the boys. Which it wouldn't surprise me if James Gunn knew Eric Kripke at this point. They probably are friends and have each other on speed dial. My goodness, like I had to check and make sure I wasn't on Prime. Like this was a DC. This is a DC show, and
It
we
it very much so was a The Boys moment. I kind of thought the same thing because, of course, in The Boys you have second season Herogasm, which is a wild episode. But to be honest, this was just as wild. Um, me and you, we also cover WWE on here, and it's wild to see John Cena doing this amount of drugs, even if they're fake, drinking and being, oh Lord help me, thrust into the middle of this orgy that is going on. It is wild to see. And it's wild also because you know what they do with that moment? They play it for an emotional beat while we as the audience is shocked that this, orgies happening. There's naked bodies, men, women. I mean, everything's up to view. So don't watch this with your kids. The one thing you're gonna notice out of that was he was completely depressed and numb. It's almost like he was there, but he wasn't even participating nor paying attention. It was happening around him and he just was existing. He was so far into his depression and drunken stupor that he didn't even really realize what was going on. And, it was kind of a moment where you felt really sad for him, kind of like Amelia when, she was winning and then all of a sudden she is getting her absolute ass whooped and then she's just thrown bloodied and out of the bar, you know what I mean? And they're both kind of looking at their lowest and saddest. So I'm very curious to what this next episode is going to bring us because, dude, this is episode 1. So this is going to be crazy, y'all. We're going to close it out here for this episode, y'all. I mean, I'm going to give my final thoughts here. I'm going to let Jay do his final thoughts and take us on out. But this was a crazy show, a great first start to what I expect should be a crazy season. I really have no idea how they're going to book in this story or where they're really going, but I got to say, I'm here for it. It is quite fun and shock and awe, and it's good to kind of have a show back where you could just say fuck and it's not like a big deal. So I'm really enjoying myself. I'd say that it's a little above average, so maybe I'll give it a 7 out of 10 if I was to rate this episode. But again, great episode. We'll be covering this entire season. So check back with us. Of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love to hear from you guys. We love your comments and everything. So I just want to say myself that we appreciate you. And Jay, take us away. What's your final thoughts and take us on out for the day?
my final thoughts are: it's good that Peacemaker didn't participate in that orgy. He probably would have caught something. But personally, for me, I'm really enjoying this season so far. The first episode was great for me. I would have to give it probably an 8 out of 10, just because there were a couple moments in there I didn't see coming, including what we talked about. But even the stuff that I did see coming, it works and it makes sense. So I'm completely on board with where we are now, and I can't wait for what we get next. Hopefully, because from what I've seen so far, I think some reviewers, like, they got like a total of 5 episodes, and then that was it. And I think the creator said because like the next 3 or something are supposed to be like mind-boggling, like crazy. So who knows what this show is going to do and how it's going to shake up the DCU leading into the next project after this. But I definitely can't wait, man. I'm excited. Also, I'll say shout out to John Cena one more time, my man. It was very clear in this episode. You do not know how to smoke from a bong. You probably never, you barely dealt with weed in your life, you know, and we could tell, but it's all good. You're a clean, man. It's great. You're doing a great job. But just saying that was noticeable, but it was also funny. With that being said, guys, thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and always stay nerdy, my friends.